Okay, so I invite everybody to close your eyes and rest your awareness on your breath. Follow the inhale in and follow the exhale. And for just five breaths, what we're going to do is we're going to inhale slow and we're going to really take in as much as we can into our stomach, then our chest. And when we get to the top of the breath, right, we're going to suck in, suck in, suck in, so you can't get no more air in, and then relax, okay? Relax down as if you're swallowing the air, and you're going to feel your diaphragm expand, okay? And then you're just going to hold it for about 10 seconds. Let out slow. And as you let out, you're going to empty your lungs. You're going to pull all the way your tummy in, completely empty your lungs, and hold just for a few seconds. So you're holding them muscles in, and you're going to breathe in slow, fully into your tummy, fully into your chest, all the way, and then swallow and settle down. Feel your diaphragm stretch. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds, depending on how you're feeling. When you need to exhale, exhale slow. Pull in. Suck your tummy and empty, 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 empty. Pull them muscles in. Hold for a little bit. Just breathe naturally. Relax. Have maybe 2 or 3 breaths, and then we'll go again. So we're going to breathe in, stomach, slow, chest, fill up. And then when you get to the top of the breath, you're going to suck in whatever you can to maximize your intake, like swallow the air and then relax. And as you settle down, you'll feel your diaphragm stretching. Many benefits to training our diaphragm. Okay, and just hold for 10 seconds. You'll feel a change in your heart beat. Might feel a little bit tingly, a few sensations. We're changing the chemistry in the body by doing this, okay? When you need to exhale, slow. Empty, empty, empty. Pull your tummy in, completely empty. Pull, 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 and then hold for like 5 seconds. Breathe in, slow and controlled. Full inhale, tummy, chest at the top of the breath. Sit in it, swallow it down. Feel your diaphragm stretch, hold for 10 seconds. Exhale, slow. Empty, pull your tummy in. This is a detoxing practice. Training them muscles, sucking in, empty, hold, and then breathe naturally. But don't pant. Just relax, feel the body. Feel the relaxation that comes from that. We're going to do one more round of that. So when you're ready, through your nose, in, tummy, chest, 10 seconds. Controlled. Empty, empty. Pull in, pull your tummy in, train them muscles. Tight, tight, empty, hold. 5 seconds. Control in. In, tummy. Expand. Chest. Sit down. On it, relax. Let your diaphragm stretch. 10 seconds. Control. Suck in. Empty, empty, empty. Squeeze just for a few seconds. Squeeze. Slowly breathe natural. Feel the body relax. We were holding in that practice. I've generated a lot of heat just from doing that. I feel very hot. It was cold before. So even throughout your day, you don't have to even use the holds. Just fill your breath all the way. Exhale completely. Actually helps you lose weight. Okay, detoxes the body. It's very cleansing. And just do maybe 5 to 10 of them whenever you think on. Okay, and then feel the body relax. Cheryl, me too, just got hot. Okay, Cheryl, Cheryl and Deb on the line came to a breathwork meditation practice we did yesterday. There's also the pumping practice. Okay, a lot of people suffer with sickness in their gut because blood goes to the gut and it stays there because our posture is bad. We're thinking too much. We're stressed. We're not breathing right, and it stagnates. Okay, so in Taoist philosophy and yogic practice, we pump. Okay, we use the stomach to pump. We can do it now. So push your tummy out. Put one hand so it's just touching your tummy. We'll start off slow. We'll just do 2 sets of 9. Okay. So what you're going to do is push your tummy out so it touches your hand. And then as you breathe out through your mouth, pull your tummy all the way in and see the gap between your tummy and your hand. And then breathe in through your nose. Push your tummy out to meet your hand, or just like that. So it's going to be like this. 4. 9. Breathe naturally. I'm getting very hot. Okay, just breathe naturally. We'll do another round. Do another 2 rounds because this is cleaning as well. This cleans the center channel. Master Shah is emphasizing so much in this practice meditation at the minute. This center channel, these 7 chakras and soul houses, is everything for health, your ability to heal. That's why I was so happy with what Cheryl shared. This is one technique to help clear that channel. Okay.
Excuse me, Nick. So when we're breathing in, we're sucking in?
No, breathing in, pushing out. I'll show you. Let me see if I can show you. See, yeah, show you my big belly. So there's my hand there, pushing out. So the inhale is filling and pushing out. Exhale, squeeze. Make sense?
Are you inhaling through your mouth or nose?
Inhaling through the nose, out through the nose as well if you can. I'm just making that noise so you can really hear the in and out breath. If you want to breathe out, sorry.
So that's why I thought it might be your mouth because of the noise. Thanks, Nick.
That's okay. In and out through your nose if you can. but I'm doing my mouth in, out the mouth. So we do one more round, okay? And are you ready? Okay. Second. Okay, let's go. Push out. Someone's not muted, sorry. Just checking. I can hear someone. I don't know.
Sorry, it was me. I
That's
had
okay.
a phone call. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. And breathe naturally. Close your eyes. And just as if a raging horse has gone past, moving energy, chaining up all this dust, just follow the breath naturally and let all the dust settle, all the mud settle. So the water is clean and we can see clearly. If this glass was dirty, the best way to clean it is to put it down. Let all the sediment sink. That means your mind, your busy mind. Past thoughts are dead. Future thoughts haven't been born yet. So stay with the breath. Dear Divine, dear Tao, countless layers of Divine and Tao. Dear Yuanling, all enlightened beings, all of our Shifus, heavens, their teams. Dear Jesus, Mother Mary, Dashi Jipusa, Lingwei Shangshu, Ami Tofu, Shijamuni for Yao Shifu, 87 Buddhas of Tao Beizhou. All sages from all traditions. Please be present, please forgive us. Please bless this practice. The Lao Tzu and the soul of the Tao Te Ching text, may we digest and absorb the wisdom. The Tien, all layers of heaven, Di, Mother Earth, Ren, all humanity, every system, soul of our body. Dear anyone we've ever hurt or harmed, or has hurt or harmed us, we love you all, honor you all, appreciate you all. Please forgive us. Have your hands in the traditional prayer position over your heart. Asishaz just released that if you have a gap, it is far more powerful, okay? Like quantum more powerful. Leave a space in between your hands over your heart. Please forgive us. Please join us. Please bless us. I forgive all beings. All beings, please forgive me. All beings forgive each other. Bring love, peace, harmony. Just stay with the breath. Mind power is visualize all the beings with us, pouring light into us, wisdom. See the body filled with light. Love the body. And we need to start really taking it serious, how to train the brain, train the mind. When you open your eyes to read the text, if you want to, or you want to look around the room, what we're going to do today is, as we're teaching, and if you're writing notes, I suggest write notes. There's some lovely chapters ahead of you. No matter what you do, observing with your eyes open the outside world, meaning outside of your body. Hold the vision of a jindan, golden light, in your lower abdomen. If you lose it, close your eyes, see the jindan, see it now, the golden light ball in your lower abdomen. And when you see it and you feel it, open your eyes, but your mind is still there. This type of training, the mind can do so much, okay? This is easy training. This is step one, but this is the Taoist practice. When your focus is there, you're in the present moment. It's very hard to complain. It's very hard to complain while your focus is there. It's very hard to judge while your focus is there. It's a present moment practice. And while your focus is inside the body, you are not leaking energy. So you can open your eyes, read the text with me. You can take notes, do what you want. But what this is really going to focus now on holding that visualization, even with your eyes open, so that you're used to dealing with people in work, family members, dramas, you know, anything when you're doing the shopping. The mantra never leaves the lips. This is Shen Koi, okay? Shen Koi is the three treasures. Mantra never leaves the lips. Thinking power, okay? Rather than leaking energy all day, we use our thinking to visualize light inside the body. Okay, and this will keep us in a state where we can make the right actions as well. You're doing your shopping, you chant in your head, you chant the mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, or Tao light, Tao love, divine love, whatever you want to chant. You're seeing light and your focus is, you're still interacting in the world, your focus is still in the jindan. Excuse me if there's any external noises, there's a few dogs around. Chapter 67. Some say that my teaching is nonsense. Others call it lofty, but impractical. But to those who have looked inside themselves, this nonsense makes perfect sense. And to those who have put it into practice, this loftiness has roots that go deep. I have just three things to teach: simplicity, patience, compassion. These three are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies, you accord with the way things are. Compassionate towards yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. Another profound chapter. Some say that my teachings are nonsense. Others call it lofty but impractical. But those who have looked inside themselves, this nonsense makes perfect sense. When we read this text, if it resonates truth, you know, the Taoist way is actually simple. Da Dao Jurgen, the big way, is extremely simple. Present moment practice. Don't waste energy with your talking. These are very simple principles to follow nature's way. Many people think it's nonsense and lofty. How can you live in the world doing that? But if you've spent some time going within, found some, or experienced some elements of stillness, you realize that it makes perfect sense. And those who put into practice this loftiness has roots that go deep. I have just three things to teach: simplicity. I hear the Taoist master in the Wudang Mountains, and a Westerner was there. The Western practitioner was asking him about food to eat. And just came to my mind when we looked at simplicity. The Taoist master said, if your body's hungry, just eat. Just think, okay, I'm going to eat, I'll eat. When you start thinking of what to eat, how to eat, what why you would eat it. He said it's too much thinking. Straight away, it's just too much thinking. Simplicity is the key. Da Dao Jurgen, the big way is extremely simple. Nature's laws, we see the same stars in the sky every night. The sun and the moon do the same thing every day. It's simple. Patience. Is nature patient? Yep. We don't rush trees to grow. We don't rush babies to start walking, talking faster. Some people might. But patience, compassion, love with understanding from a Buddhist perspective. These three are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts. You return to the source of being. The Tao is simple. It's humble. Patient with both friends and enemies. You accord with the way things are. You know, he said earlier, in earlier chapters, having an enemy, there's no worse thing than having an enemy, okay? Only the ego can have an enemy. So when we're patient with both friends and perceived enemies, okay? We align with nature, the way things are. Compassionate towards yourself. You reconcile all beings in the world. It's beautiful because on the Da Bei Zhou lineage course I'm doing, there's a student of Master Sha. She's brought up as a Buddhist, and when she was going to do the lineage course years ago, she for whatever reason never got the lineage, and she thought she was going to get it because she's been chanting the Da Bei Zhou since she was a little girl, and she was really beating herself up. She was thinking, I'm not pure enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. And she said she did a flow with Guan Yin, which is a soul communication, which I'd love to share with you guys, that technique. So she did the soul communication. She has open spiritual channels as well. And Guan Yin came and she said, I'm so sorry, Guan Yin. I'm not this, I'm not that. That's why I've missed the opportunity. I haven't received the lineage. And she said, Guan Yin, gave her a message, clear message saying, how can you be compassionate to the world if you're not compassionate to yourself? And she got it. She bowed down. She was very humbled. And it's a great teaching. And it's saying it here in the Tao Te Ching, compassionate towards yourself. You have to be compassionate towards yourself. So many people beat themselves up. You reconcile all beings in the world. Be compassionate to yourself. Does anyone want to share on that?
I think it's harder to serve yourself sometimes. I think it's easier to serve and help other people.
Yeah, I'm with you. But you know, when I used to teach Love, Peace, Harmony in the presentation, there's if you look at the order of the song Love, Peace, Harmony, I love my heart and soul, I love all humanity, join hearts and souls together, love, peace, harmony. There's no coincidence, it's in that order. And I've been with my teacher for 12 years, and I've seen people who, through their own suffering, have basically tried, and it's funny, it can be a bit tricky because Master Sha, I think it's every spiritual practitioner way. It's like Jesus's way, it's the Tibetan Buddhist way, is to just save, okay? Is to just save. Master Sha's emphasizing it all the time. He said, anyone's problem is focusing on me. The Buddha summed up 84,000 methods that he taught in his lifetime of spiritual practice. He summed it up in one sentence. Nothing is to be clung to as I, me, or mine. Okay, so you're right. Master Shah is saying at the minute, just save, just help people. Okay, just help the world. You can do that through mantra. You don't have to go out necessarily. You can intention chant for all beings. But when you look at love, peace, harmony, a lot of people who haven't healed themselves, they try and move to line 2. I love all humanity, and they try and love the world. Okay, but it's like, as I use the analogy, it's me trying to give someone $1 million and I just don't have $1 million. Those words will be empty. I love you, I love you, I love you. It's like, I don't actually feel your love. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's their suffering. So to genuinely give love, you have to have love inside. And it's not loving the false self. It's not loving the Nicholas Gianassi, because that doesn't really exist in the Buddhist perspective. Nothing, no phenomena exists as a separate self-identity. This is the Heart Sutra. As I'm doing this retreat right now, actually, it's on at the moment, which is a beautiful teaching. But you still have to love the true self, which is the life that is within all things. Okay, and when you truly love it in yourself, you'll see it in everything else. So you have to be compassionate to yourself. If you say, I'm going to go and just help people as best I can, but I just can't forgive myself because I made someone sad last week, or or you're just beating yourself down. It's a false self anyway. Okay, you're beating the false self down, and you can't actually give love and compassion to anyone else until you can hold it for yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that, Nick. Can you hear me?
I can. Hello,
Yeah.
Savannah.
Yeah, hello. I guess when you actually look at it, I mean, everything that the Tao Te Ching teaches is detachment, no judgment. So when we're constantly in judgment of self, like not from an ego, but from, like, as soon as if we had no judgment and actually looked at it from a higher perspective, we probably, like when we looked at it from a love, rather than, because everything about who we are and everything that we're being taught is love outside. All this love is from the outside. Nothing is about, internally. So, we make mistakes. Have compassion, love yourself, like from a deeper sense, from a real deeper level. And really we can't even do that. We can't even almost get to that point because we're already judging ourselves. I shouldn't have, like you said, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. So we're already in that programming, like they teach us outside. You need to have the beautiful lips and the whole thing. All those things that children. Like you got to have that game and this phone and this and so everything is from the outside rather than from the inside, and we can't even attain that because judgment of self is so high. Because we mimic what they're trying to teach us, or what all those messages about we're not good enough, you need this and this and that.
Thanks for that. Yeah, it's true. And the simple technique is, who is looking from the inside out? So we're always searching for things on the outside, but what is actually at the other end of the observation that's looking out? And if it's looking out, where is it looking out from? These are very, very simple, fundamental spiritual questions. In the Taoist tradition, everybody and everything that exists in the center of the universe, because everything is looking out. Everything grows out. Everything's observing everything from the center outward. So I agree with what you're saying, Silvana. This idea, it's a fundamental illusion that we try and find some type of happiness from the outside. We have to look at what is looking out. Who is that? Who is the I that wants to know anything, wants to experience anything? Anyone else want to share on that?
Nick, when you were saying who is the I, that wants to know, it's about knowing who you are. Who are you? Who am I? And for me anyway, as you say, it's like knowing that, like what Tom Barnett says, right, is knowing thyself. Not only him, but many teachers are saying this, and I'm really like finding that true for myself in my personal journey. Say again.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I? I just get soul. I am soul. I am divine. I am divinity. I am me.
Okay. No, it's good. It's because it's true. Like, know thyself is the fundamental core of everything. But like, if you look at the Toltec tradition, for example, they admit that we don't know who we are. And they're fine with that. It actually releases a burden. And that's why it's funny, because you hear like Eckhart Tolle, he says, when we say, I am love, I am this, is whatever you are. But he says, no, he says, I am.
Yeah.
Because all we know is that we're having this experience. But even from a high level of Buddhism, that's a fundamental flaw, but I'm not going to go into it now.
Yeah, what came up for me is like, it is a journey, it is a journey of finding, of exploring the expression of who I am. And in any given time, it could be, very different, depending on whatever it is that I am experiencing. And further to the compassion of what you were speaking about earlier, what dropped in for me was this kindness, self-kindness, kindness towards ourselves. And if we cannot be kind to ourselves, then we can't have that kindness and compassion outside of ourselves. So we have to have that for ourselves first.
I like what you say there, because I think sometimes, nothing is to be clung to as I, me, or mine. It's like in Tibetan Buddhism, for example, they don't say I am compassionate. When you reach the level of a bodhisattva, you are the condition of compassion. So if someone comes in your path and you are to be compassion, you're not I am compassionate. There's no I there. You are just the living embodiment of compassion. And if somebody has felt that and has healing from that, there's no I hope that person gets better. There's no, I'll check on them tomorrow. It's just, you are a moving condition of compassion. And to cultivate love and kindness and compassion, they fundamentally, constantly wish for all sentient beings to be happy and free from suffering. So I think that's a big difference. And the reason why I brought that up is because you mentioned to be kind. If you are in the condition of kindness, it's very different if I'm really hate myself. Let's say I'm just like in a really bad place, I'm depressed, but I'm putting on this mask for everyone. And I'm like, oh, helping someone across the road. Oh, isn't he kind? And I want praise for that. That's very different than if I was at peace and I was just in the condition of kindness. Okay. Of course, there's no me being kind to myself. I am just feeling kind.
You're just being it. And, there's an example of this for me was, the other day I was having coffee with a friend, and my coffee had sugar and I didn't want sugar. And I just don't like a coffee with sugar. So I went back up to the guy and said, did you put sugar in my coffee? And he said, no, I didn't. And I swear he did. So I sat back down again, and then a guy that was standing there saw me and he goes, if you don't want it, I'll have it. and I smiled at him and I sat back down. And then I was like, 2 seconds later, I was like, well, hold on. I felt compelled and pulled to say, would you like me to buy you a coffee? And then that was just a being in just my natural state of kindness, because it was something that I wanted to do. there was no ego attached, and it was like, yeah, I'll buy you a coffee. And he was so grateful for it. Didn't want one, by the way, but he just gave me this beautiful smile and acknowledgement, and you know, and there was a connection, a soul connection there with our eyes, which was just really lovely. So that was being, that was me and my being.
I love stories like that, because human nature is kind. When you see people cracking jokes, being egotistical, that's all the false self. When people are just themselves, people are good. You know, no one wants to create suffering for others. Humans, that's why, you know, every true spiritual tradition, and Master Shah is really emphasizing it at the minute, this human life is very, very unique opportunity. And to find your spiritual practice, I've repeated it many times on this call. In Tibetan Buddhism, there's like certain environments. If you're born in a time where you have access to the Dharma, you have all your faculties to be able to practice the Dharma, you have good health, you have, you know, good environment, support, and family. These things, they come round every, like, multiple kalpas. A kalpa is a distance of time, which is just huge. They use like analogies like of a turtle just popping its head up in the middle of the ocean and putting its head through a toilet seat. That is the how rare it is. I think I shared this with you last time we were on, but a story with the Buddha. He got a handful of earth and he said to Ananda, he said, Ananda, is there more soil, more earth in my hand, or in the vastness of the earth? And Ananda said, well, of course, in the vastness of the earth. He said, for how many beings there are in existence, the soil in my hand is how many are human beings. And he said, and of this handful, less than a fingernail are aware of the spiritual journey. This is why, for how many beings there are, when you look at like microbes, they're conscious. Okay, when you look at bacteria, insects, animals, all these different life forms, one enlightened being comes around every, you know, a long time. There's not many enlightened people who reach Buddhahood. So to find your spiritual practice is so unique, and to be able to practice it, that's why in Buddhism, they don't waste a second. So the mantra doesn't leave the lips. This is such a unique opportunity. Okay, we go on. The best, 68, the best athlete wants his opponent at his best. The best general enters the mind of his enemy. The best businessman serves the communal good. The best leader follows the will of the people. All of them, let's say a misprint, all of them embody the virtue of non-competition. Not that they don't love to compete, but they do it in the spirit of play. In this, they are like children and in harmony with the Tao. Anyone want to share anything on that? The best athlete wants his opponent at his best. The best general enters the mind of his enemy. The best businessman serves the communal good. The best leader follows the will of the people. Do you think our leaders do this today? All of them embody the virtue of non-competition. Not that they don't love to compete, but they do it in the spirit of play. Master Shah last night actually spoke about competition. He said, we live in a world which people push their kids into competition. Okay, they love competition everywhere, schools, everything. He said competition in that though is creating karma. What he's saying here is the true leader or the best of anybody in whatever they're here to do, whether it's an athlete, general businessman, they embody the virtue of non-competition. Not that they don't love to compete, but they do it in the spirit of play. My friend Fletcher, who comes on sometimes, who we did the podcast with, he started watching a show on Netflix. We're renting a place short term, so we've got Netflix here. We don't really watch much telly, but he said he started getting into there's a Formula One show, and he's just said it was really fascinating. He found it interesting to see, because it's not necessarily just the race, it's about the teams and all the rest of it. And we watched a couple, and that level of competition is very, very, it's not like this. It's not, they do it in the spirit of play. It's very serious. Like they really despise each other, and they do some dirty tricks on each other and things like that. So that is ego. That is, but this is talking about something else, to my understanding. Not that they don't love to compete, but they do it in the spirit of play. In this, they are like children and in harmony with the Tao. Does anyone want to share anything on that? Pretty straightforward chapter. Okay. 69. The generals have a saying, rather than make the first move, it is better to wait and see. Rather than advance an inch, it is better to retreat a yard. This is called going forward without advancing, pushing back without using weapons. There is no greater misfortune than underestimating your enemy. Underestimating your enemy means thinking that he is evil. Thus you destroy your three treasures and become an enemy yourself. When two great forces oppose each other, the victory will go to the one who knows how to yield. It's a very interesting text. First part of this book is talking about, the Tao, pointing in the direction of the Tao, pointing in ways how the master lives in harmony with the Tao. The second part of the book, he starts talking about warfare and things like that, because there's always going to be that. There's always going to be, and this is my understanding, there's always going to be a general. There's always going to be athletes, warriors, businessmen. And this is how to conduct yourself in those positions. So we can all take this on, okay? Rather than make the first move, it is better to wait and see. How can we apply that every day? How often do we get something that emotionally triggers, and we're going to send a text or we're going to send that email, and whenever we do send it straight away, when the mud settles, we think, why did we do that? Why didn't I just wait and see what happens? See, the ego wants to act now. Never make a decision when you're emotional. Rather than advance an inch, it is better to retreat a yard. This is called going forward without advancing, pushing back without using weapons. Might be talking about a general here. Might be talking about a general in this chapter, but we can apply this in daily life. Okay, going forward without advancing, pushing back without using weapons. What's weapons? Our language is a weapon. Okay, hold your tongue rather than disasters come from our speech, rather than saying something that we can't take back. There's no greater misfortune than underestimating your enemy. Underestimating your enemy means thinking that he is evil. You projecting something on someone else. Thus you destroy your three treasures: simplicity, patience, compassion, and you become an enemy yourself. When two great forces oppose each other, the victory will go to the one that knows how to yield. Anyone want to share on that? Any experiences with that, or want to add anything to that?
I had an experience the other day. A lady come to my door wanting a hem done on her jumper, and it had a twin, like it was 2 rows of sewing on the one sleeve, and if you break one of those needles, it's $10. And the time, and you had to try it on her to get the right length. Well, long story short, I just said, I'm sorry. She didn't like the idea of paying $20. So I said, oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do it any cheaper. I explained about how things cost, and I felt really bad, and I thought, oh, I could have just said, oh, I'll do it for $10 then if you like, because she had two tops. But I just felt like I felt my throat close, you know, when I said no. So I felt I did the wrong thing. I should have just said, here, I should have gave my, I should have helped her rather than said what I said.
But do you think you overthought the whole thing too much?
Maybe, yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Change the way you speak, okay? Say
The way
this.
yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, I know you are. I know, yeah, it's okay. But what I'm saying is, you know, disasters come from our speech. What you chant is what you become. So sometimes we say these things jokingly, and we all do it, and we say it so much, it's our mantra, okay? And we just ingrains more and more in our being. So yeah, that's okay. That's a good experience. This is why the present moment truly is a gift. It truly is a present, because no matter what mistakes we make, we've always got another shot in every moment to apologize. Even if the woman's gone, I'm sorry if I missed that opportunity. Okay. I won't do it again. If you feel like you've done something wrong, but don't overthink it. Okay. Drop it. Like the breath, right? Breathe. Now, let's say your next inhale is that incident, or you maybe really like your next inhale. So breathe in and then say, I'm gonna keep hold of that breath. So hold that breath and just keep hold of it. And you're holding on to it is you holding on to the past. You're constantly thinking about it, feeling bad. Should I have done that? Shouldn't I have done that? Oh yeah. You can't let it go. How long are you going to last for holding that before you pass out? It'll eventually suffocate you. So as you let go of that breath, whenever you're ready, you let it go. You let the past go, okay? And let it die to the past that is gone, and learn from it. That's why the present moment is a gift as well, is because I missed that opportunity, and that's probably better than me doing it for cheaper. But if you didn't feel that was the right thing anyway, okay, just let it go and learn from it. Whatever you need to get from that, just learn from it. And then
Thank you, Nick. You're awesome.
stay in the now. Anyone else want to share on that chapter?
Yes, I just want to say that's probably, I actually really do like this one here, and probably could put it up on the wall, because in essence, we all talk too quickly and we all judge very quickly. And, you know, like that happened to me even today. And I know that my intention with what happened to me today, I know my intention was very pure, but that person still got hurt. And when I reflected on why they got hurt, I still text them to say, there was no judgment here. I responded to what you said. So if we're angry or we want to move something, you know, it's difficult if you confront the truth of their words. But there's always ways to sometimes there isn't. You just have to do a forgiveness practice. And like you just said, Nick, you know, you miss that opportunity. I'm sorry if I hurt someone, but if you have an opportunity to come back to that situation, you know, the humility is part of the experience. It's part of learning. Because as you say, you know, our words, they are a weapon. They're a very big weapon. And often, for me, I often see Lao Tzu, because he's one of my guides. I see him actually literally with his fingers tell me to zip it. Literally tell me to zip it.
In this book, one of the chapters, one of the sentences is, the sage goes around teaching, no talking.
Yeah. You
know, there's this famous story of Lao Tzu, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But every day, a gentleman used to walk with Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu would always just roam around, and he would just walk with him in silence. And one day, and I'm sorry if I've shared this and I'm repeating it, but it's a cool story. One day, a friend of the guy who walked with Lao Tzu, he came with them. So you've got Lao Tzu in silence, this gentleman who walks with him whenever he can in silence, and his friend in silence. But his friend is not used to silence, and the silence is suffocating him. Okay. And the first half hour goes by, the first hour goes by, and his mind is going crazy. It's like, no one's talking. Oh my gosh, like, I just can't take this silence. It's killing me. It's suffocating me. And when the sun comes up, the guy goes, beautiful sunrise, isn't it? And nobody says anything. So he's just has the worst time ever on this walk. And then at the end of the walk, Lao Tzu says to his friend who walks with him in silence every day, don't bring your friend again, he's a chatterbox. And it's just a funny story, whether it's true or not, but it emphasizes what Lao Tzu is like. So hold your tongue. It's the same with Master Sha. When you see Master Sha on stage, he talks a lot. Okay, he gets very passionate. He teaches a lot. He's good now. Now he has times where he comes on and he goes off. But back in the day, he stayed on stage for 36 hours straight, right? Literally just going, blessing, just didn't have a clue. He's so in the moment, doesn't know whether it's night or day, and he's just going for it, right? But you ever see Master Sha when he's not on stage? He does not waste words. Doesn't waste words on stage. Doesn't speak. You know, I've got friends that when he first came to us, well, when it was actually the first time he came to Australia years ago. My good friend was his first ever disciple in Australia, and his partner said that she was with Master Sha in the early days, and when they were outside after the retreat, just standing there, he never spoke. They all said they felt his love and it was beautiful, but he never spoke. He never said anything. If he was asked, he would answer. It's not like he would ignore people, but he did not waste words. Chapter 70, my teachings are easy to understand and easy to put into practice. Yet your intellect will never grasp them. And if you try to practice them, you'll fail. My teachings are older than the world. How can you grasp their meaning? If you want to know me, look inside your heart. My teachings are easy to understand and easy to put into practice. What's he saying? Stop talking. Follow the Tao, follow nature's way. Okay. We can't do that. In another chapter, I don't know whether we've gone over it or it's to come, but he says, it's on the lines of, my teaching is like the highway, but people love the side roads. They love to get distracted. Okay, the ego does. Yet your intellect, the ego, will never grasp them. And if you try to practice them, you'll fail. Little gem in there is you're trying to practice it. But the Taoist way is very natural. It's actually to be more, you look at the term I've shared it before, supernatural, just to be super natural, very natural. Okay. You look around in the world today, we are so far away from nature. We have no idea. We eat things we think we need because outside information is telling us. At times we think we need to. We do everything counter to nature. So if you're trying to practice them, you'll fail. It's about being in our natural state. My teachings are older than the world. How can you grasp their meaning? If you want to know me, look inside your heart. So this is where Master Sha's teachings come in. The Buddha said, Ming Xin Genshin. Okay, it means enlighten your heart to see your true self. That's the Buddhist way of explaining it. In the Taoist tradition, there is a Shushen, which is the body soul, which has a personality, likes and dislikes. Then there is the Yuan Shen. If you want to know me, look inside your heart. My teachings are older than the world. Master Sha's released, because Master Sha said there's so many hidden messages, hidden teachings, hidden practices in the Tao Te Ching, and he's sharing them with humanity. Okay. So he says in the Taoist tradition, you have the physical heart, which is usually just left. There's a lot of people saying that the heart is in the center now, whatever, it doesn't matter. You have the physical heart. And then in the very center, you have the heart chakra, okay? The message center. We need to open this. This is the energy center of that space. In between the two, there is the lingong. The lingong is where our Yuan Shen resides. Yuan Shen is the Tao in the body. It is our true original soul from the source that has no karma. In the lingong, there is a Tianming. A Tianming is a heaven's task. We each come to the earth with a Tianming, with a heaven's task. You find that by clearing the channel to the heart. The reason we can't see it is the tunnel of the heart is too polluted. Too many desires, too many attachments, too much greed, envy, things like this. Here on the same diagram is the very center, behind the navel in the center of the body is the Konggong and the oil lamp. Konggong is a sacred temple. Oil lamp is basically the practices we've gone over in these calls. Keeps the oil full. Okay, you do a mantra like Tao Sheng Yi. Tao creates one, the oneness. Tian Yi Jun Shui. Heaven's sacred liquid pouring in. Jin Jin Yu Ye. Mother Earth's sacred liquid coming up. Yen Ru Dan Tian. Swallow saliva into your lower dantian. Shen Qi Jing Hui. Soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter join as one in the lower abdomen. Tian Di Ren Hui. Heaven, Mother Earth, human beings join as one in your lower abdomen. Jin Dan Lian Cheng. The Jin Dan is formed. By Bing Shao Chu, all sickness disappears. Yu Fang Bai Bing. Prevent all sickness. Fan Lao Huan Tung. Retain old age to the health and purity of a baby state, because we're filling the oil lamp. Chang Shu Yung Sheng. Immortality, longevity and immortality is achieved. Okay. That practice, which we've gone over in the earlier ones. I've got a video of me chanting it with the body movements on YouTube. That was Lao Tzu's practice. Okay. I miss, when I say we, I'm included in this. Just even going over it and chanting it for you guys then just makes me think, why am I not chanting this for hours a day? This is a longevity practice. Okay. Build up your oil lamp, build up your Jindan. In this process, we become more grounded, more benevolent, We align them with the Tao. We are opening our heart to see our true self. Yuan Shen, enlighten the heart. Yuan Shen takes over. We find our true Tianming, our true task in this life, and we can achieve our spiritual journey. I'm sure there'll be some questions or anything on that. Does anyone want to ask anything on that before we go on? I might do a practice now, actually.
Nick, just the only thing I wanted to ask was if you could kindly share that video again on our group, because that would be a beautiful one to do. I've been doing others, but that's a really beautiful one. Thank you for sharing that again.
Do you want me to share me chanting it, or the
yes, your video?
Tao Te Ching's where we went over it, because we did this in one of the groups.
Yes, please.
Nick, can you put the words back up for 70 for a moment while I take a photo, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that on there as soon as I put this down when we finish.
Thank you. Got it.
Thank you.
We'll just go over this actually, because I'm going to start introducing the 10 Das. We're going to go into we can do a little bit of 10 Da now, and then we'll chant a bit of I love you, because we'll do a practice now. Just let me, that's okay. So there's 10 spaces in the body. Those top 10 spaces, Master Shah says they're like gears. Okay, he calls them gears. So when one turns the one above it. Okay, turns the one above it. This center channel is the key for everything. But his last Tao mantra, which is called Melding with Tao, which is the immortality mantra, he really emphasizes building a Jindan in every one of the spaces, because as I've shared with you guys before, if you have trees, ocean, human beings, animals, all life living in between heaven and earth, if the space is polluted, okay, so there's a lot of EMFs, let's say, there's a lot of radiation, there's a lot of actual pollution, toxins in the air, things like that, everything will die off. Okay, humans will get sick, the water will get polluted, the plants will die, and all the rest of it. So in our body, we clean the space, the matter of the body will clean. So the first root chakra is Dagwang Ming. So in between the genitals and the anus is Dagwang Ming. Okay, Dagwang Ming means greatest light. There's a reason why that's the light, because when you build that first soul house, it acts as a pump, pumps light up the center and up the back, so you get the two circles going. The second, in between the navel and the base of the body, in between the first chakra, is in the middle of the body is the second. So Master Shah calls them soul houses, because depending on your soul standing in heaven, if you have an open third eye and you can see inside the body, you can see where people's souls reside. Because spiritually speaking, when you're looking with a spiritual eye, you can see where people are at on their soul journey. And Master Shah says, if your channels are open, if you see anyone whose soul sits anywhere here or above their head, he said, bow down to the floor. It is very, very rare. From the heart up is considered enlightened. The first stages of enlightenment. Anything above here takes many, many, many lifetimes of selfless service. So the second soul house is gratitude, Da Ganen. The third, behind the navel, Da Chembe, humility. The fourth, Da Ai, love. Fifth, Da Fu Wu, service. Think about it. We can save people with our voice, or we can create disasters. Okay, so we save. Sixth, Da Quan Shu, forgiveness. Seventh, Da Yuan Man, enlightenment. Okay, this is, you are fully enlightened here. The Ming Men point directly behind the navel is Da Tsabei, compassion. Of course it is, because it's the Tao point in the body. 7, up here, the 7th. This acupuncture point belongs to heaven, heaven's entry. In between the genitals and the anus is Mother Earth's entry. Ming Men point is Tao's entry. Then we have number 9, which is back to the front here, with the lower dantian. Da Chang Sheng is flourishing. Okay, you align with these natures, you flourish. And number 10 is the Kundalini Snow Mountain Golden area of the body, which is just in front of the tailbone. And that's Da He Xie, which is harmony. Okay, I've also got the Zhu Chao in there, but we don't have to talk about that now. So they're the 10 spaces of the body. I'm actually going to play, instead of playing I Love You, I'm going to play the first part of the Melding with Tao Classic. Because what the first part of this classic does is each of those spaces in the body has a sound. So going from 1, 2, right through, it's got hey, hung, hong, ah, she, yi, wong, yo, right, which is the whole wide jiao. Then you've got ha, which is the number 9, the lower dantian, and yu, which is the Kundalini. So in the first beginning of this mantra, he goes, hey, 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 3 times, which is the first chakra. Hey, Jin Dan. It's hey, Jin Dan. Dagwang Ming, greatest light. Dagwang Ming, Jin Dan. Then it goes hong, 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 Jin Dan. Daganen, Daganen, Jindan. It's building a Jindan in every one of the spaces. This is to create the Tao light body. Okay, so let's do this practice. Very easy to keep up with. And this mantra goes through so much. So rather than playing the full mantra, I'm going to play that beginning bit a few times. So everyone get comfortable, have a drink, do whatever you need. And I'll mute myself. And when I mute myself and press play, I'll move to that video again if you want to watch it. And you can follow and chant along if you want. If not, you can just listen, keep your focus there, and feel the condition in each space of the body. We'll do that first. Close your eyes first. The soul mind body of the 10 Das, the 10 spaces in the body. We love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Put your left hand over your first chakra, and that's going to stay there. Put your right hand over your first chakra and feel the condition of light. Light carries wisdom. Light heals, rejuvenates. Light clears all blockages, clears negative information. And see light in this first soul house. It's Da Guang Ming. Now with your right hand, put it over your second soul house. Feel, breathe in and out, gratitude. Let gratitude flood your being. With your right hand, move to your navel area and inside the body in the center channel, feel humility. See light in all these areas, feel humility. Right hand over your heart, feel love. Da-I. Right hand over your throat. Da-Fu, feel service, selflessness, contribution, generosity. See light flooding in there. Put your hand over your eyes, your right hand. See the light inside your head. Da Quan Shu. Greatest forgiveness. The condition of forgiveness. Forgiven you, forgiven any thoughts in your head, forgiven anyone we've ever hurt, And anyone that's ever hurt anyone, just be the condition of forgiveness. Move your hand above your head. Be the condition of enlightenment, completely enlightened, one with everything. No separate self-identity. Hand over the Ming Men point, which is on the back of the body, directly behind the navel. See a fist-sized Jindan there, golden light ball. That's the way. Greatest compassion. Hand over the lower Dantian. So it's just in front of the second soul house. Da Chang Sheng. Feel the condition of flourishing. Not I am flourishing, just everything about your being is flourishing. Your relationships, finances, health. Because you're moving with the Tao. Place one hand over your tailbone. Da Hershye, the condition of harmony. Balance. And now we're going to go back to the first, and I'm going to play the mantra. And as Master Sha chants, move the hand over the locations like we've just done, but following the mantra. I'm going to mute myself.
Dagwang Ming Jin Dan 我在道光中
Sorry, he's actually sharing the wisdom of each of the conditions that I'll share after, but that's what he's chanting now before he moves on.
道光在我中，通体透明，恒恒恒恒金丹，大感恩。 大感恩金丹，道生德养，栽培智慧。道恩永存，红红红红金丹，大谦卑，大谦卑金丹，柔弱不争，持续精进，是谦卑，叠万丈。金丹，大金丹，无条件爱，融化灾难。心情生命，洗洗洗洗金丹，大福大福金丹，是为上乘法门，一金丹，大宽恕，大宽恕金丹，我原谅你，你原谅我，相爱平安和谐。嗡嗡嗡嗡金丹，大圆满，大圆满金丹，灵心脑身圆满，人地天道神仙体，复修炼才可攀。有金丹，大慈悲，大慈悲金丹，愿力增强，福众生，功德无量。哈哈 哈金丹，大长生，大长生金丹，到此应付，行善积德，道业长生，玉金丹，大和谐，大和谐金丹，三人同心，其利断尽，成功秘诀。
So roughly, Dagwang Ming is I am inside Tao Source Light. Tao Source Light is inside me. Gratitude is to basically give gratitude to all your past teachers and everything. Greatest humility is when you gain ego, you fall into a deep cavern. You lose humility. Love is unconditional love, melts all blockages, transforms all life. Bafu Wu is to vow to save. I'm really paraphrasing these now. Da Kuan Shu, forgiveness. I forgive you, you forgive me, bring love, peace, harmony. Da Yuan Man is to climb the steps, becoming a human being saint, Mother Earth saint, Heaven saint, Tao saint are the highest saints. Compassion is to vow to save all humanity and all beings. The virtue is immeasurable. Flourishing, I can't remember actually the rough essence of that. Da Hershey, harmony, when three hearts come together as one, the power can cut gold. These are like the secrets, wisdom to each of the 10 dark conditions in the body. So just stay with the breath. I'm going to offer a blessing. I was fortunate enough to receive my Guanyin lineage on Friday, which I didn't expect. I thought it was going to be a lot longer than that. So I was very grateful for that. I know some of you have asked what that means. It literally means the honor and privilege of becoming a lineage of Guanyin and the 87 Buddhas of Tao Beizhou, and receiving the Chensho Chenya, which is the 1,000 arms, 1,000 eyes transmission from Guanyin, which is only being offered to a certain number of people. This is why I've been really emphasizing, without putting any pressure on, the importance of learning the mantra. I would love to see you guys go for this while it's open, because if it's closed, you'll never get this opportunity again. So I'm going to offer a blessing now to everyone from the Guanyin lineage blessing. I can now offer crown chakra blessings, but it has to be in person. And a crown chakra blessing is very different than a blessing that I'm going to offer. Crown chakra blessing is if I put my hand over your crown chakra, Guanyin and the 87 Buddhas are putting their hand on my hand. Okay. I can't do them remotely. They've got to be in person, but I'm going to offer a blessing anyway. So make a request from your heart. Don't make the mistake of thinking that I'm offering a blessing. I'm not offering a blessing. I'm just the fortunate one to be able to offer this type of blessing. It's only through my teacher this is possible. So it's just your connection with Guan Yin, who is the condition of compassion. And the 87 Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of Da Bei Zhou, the great compassion mantra. Make a request from your heart. Please, may I request a blessing for? My name is, say your name 3 times to heaven, silently or out loud. Say thank you and just surrender. No expectations, but be aware, scan how you feel right now. Just scan your body while I prepare. See how you feel. Observe, get into a state so you can observe while the blessing's taking place. And then feel yourself after it, okay? Tao Bei Zhou Guan Yin lineage, blessing start. Chen Shu Chen Yin Da Ci Da Bei Zhou Ku Ju Nan Guan Da Yuan Man Guan Shi Yin Pu Sa Ling Hui Sheng Shi Chen Guan Jing Wang A彌陀佛 Master Sha Chen Shu Chen Yan Wu Ai Da Bei Xin Tu Lu Ni Chen Shu Chen Yan Wu Ai Da Bei Xin Tu Lu Ni Chen Shu Chen Yan Wu Ai Da Bei Xin Tu Lu Ni Nan Mo Hu La Da Nu Du La Ye Ye Nam Mo Le Ye Bo Lo Jie Di So Ben La Ye Pu Ti Sa Do Po Ye Mo Hu Sa Do Pu Ye Mo Hu Jia Lu Ni Jia Ye An Sa Ben La Fa Yi Su Da Nu Da Xia Nam Mo Xi Jie Li Do Yi Mang Wo Le Ye Bo Lo Jie Di Shi Fu La Lang Tu Po Nam Mo Nu La Jin Chu Shi Li Mo Ben Do Sa Mi Sa Po Wo To Do Shi Pang Wo Shi Yan Sa Po Sa Do Nam Mo Po Sa Do Nam Mo Po Jie Mo Fa Te Do Da Ju To An Wo Pu Lu Shi Lu Jia Di Jia Lo Di Yi Shi Li Mo Hu Pu Ti Sa Do 萨婆萨婆摩拉摩拉，摩西摩西利图愿，居鲁居鲁杰芒，嘟噜嘟噜发舍耶的，摩无发舍耶的。陀罗陀罗萨伊利利，须佛拉耶，遮拉遮拉摩摩发摩拉，摩地利，伊西西。须奴须奴，我拉香佛拉舍利，法沙法香佛拉舍耶，呼噜呼噜木拉，呼噜呼噜西里，苏拉苏拉。西里西里，苏噜苏噜，菩提耶菩提耶，菩提耶菩提耶，弥地利耶，努拉金曲，塞利舍尼努，普耶摩努，娑婆。悉陀耶娑婆，摩诃悉陀耶娑婆，悉陀喻娑本来耶娑婆，努拉金曲娑婆。摩拉努拉娑婆，悉拉僧我摩切耶娑婆，娑婆摩诃我悉多耶娑婆，这吉拉我悉多耶娑婆，波陀摩揭悉陀耶娑婆，努拉金曲本切拉耶娑婆，摩婆利香吉拉耶娑婆。南无喝啦达努嘟啦耶耶，南无我列耶，波罗揭谛苏本来耶，娑婆安悉颠多曼多拉本陀耶。娑婆，金刚相庄严娑婆，相闻相庄严娑婆，摩羯相庄严娑婆，安布遮拉。悉列谢娑婆，南无灵会上师。Lingui Shangshi is Guan Yin's new name for the Soul Light Era. Nam 摩灵会上师，南无灵会上师，南 Mo Ling Hui Shang Shi Nan Mo Ling Hui Shang Shi Nan Mo Ling Hui Shang Shi. Breathe in the love and compassion from Guan Yin, Ling Wei Sheng Shi. And breathe in the field of the 87 Buddhas of Tao Te Ching, connected to countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Feel the field, the frequency, vibration, light, and blessing of Chen Shou Chenya. 1,000 arms, 1,000 eyes. Spiritual transmission. 1,000 ways to see your suffering. 1,000 ways to reach out and help and heal, serve. Huge amounts of virtue from these blessings. If you don't want to receive, everyone has free will. You can always say, no, thank you. That's okay. We say, how. Thank you, Guan Yin, Ling Wei Sheng Shi. Thank you, 87 Buddhas of Tao Te Ching. Thank you, all the beings that joined us. Thank you, Master Sha, for this opportunity, Divine and Tao. Thank you, everyone on the line. I love you all so much. We say, how. Thank you. Love you, love you, love you. If anyone wants to, I'll stop sharing the screen. If anyone wants to take your time, but anyone wants to share anything, ask any questions, please feel free. If not, we can close.
I felt like I grew taller.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Say that again, Shami.
I said I felt like I grew taller. I had a few little blockages in my spine that I just felt release and like I grew. Thank you.
Thank you, Guan Yin. Thank you, Ling Wei Sheng Shi. Thank you, Charmaine.
I just felt like I wasn't here. I was just in this peace. It was just wonderful.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
Again, honestly, all thank yous go to them. Okay. I don't know what I've done. I'm just average Joe with a unique opportunity. So please, all thank yous go to Guan Yin. You have all got a deep connection with Guan Yin and the 87 Buddhas. Otherwise, you simply wouldn't be. Remember the Buddha with the handful of earth, less than a fingernail, are on the spiritual path. Okay, and then like the Tao Te Ching says, there's 3 types of human being. One type hears about the Tao, practices it diligently from then on. Second type hears about the Tao, gives it thought now and again. Third type of being laughs out loud, mocks the Tao. Yeah, and if he didn't laugh, it wouldn't be the Tao. So it's only a few beings that reach human being. Even though we think there's 7.5 billion people, you look at how many conscious living beings there are, tiny amounts of human beings. And you are in the small group of people that are connected to Guan Yin and the 87 Buddhas of Tao Te Ching. So please, when you say thank you, all thank you goes to them. So Anyone else want to share?
Yes, Nick. Something very special happened. I have joined in Darbejo chanting classes, listened, tried, being the operative word, to connect, and never felt a connection with the Darbejo or Guanyin. And while you were chanting, I just went into it and felt so connected to both. And my whole body is, it's like I'm feeling the divine going through me, like passing through me, and it's all directions, all over the place. There's no order to it, but it's just kind of lightly pinging these lines of energy going everywhere through me. And I now feel connected, which is so different to where I've been at before.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Heaven.
Thanks for sharing, Judy. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Judy. Thank you. Yes, Dagwang, Dagwang. Lingwei Shangshe. Lingwei Shangshe. Thank you.
Love you, Judy. Love you, Silvana.
Love you, everyone here.
Love you all. If that's it, we can wrap up. Or if anyone else wants to share.
Love
Hi
you.
guys. I just wanted to say thank you. It was beautiful, very peaceful.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Arwen. Hope you're feeling okay.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay then, guys. We'll say how. Thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. Respectfully returned everyone we've called, all the souls we've called. Have a beautiful week. I'll stop recording.